What's up, guys? We are actually at Fort Wilderness. We just finished breakfast at Trail's End, but we wanted to go ahead and give you guys kind of a Dopey training update. I mean, we've been training through the summer, but we both kind of officially got on plans at the 18-week mark where the Hal Higdon training plans start. So we're gonna kind of give you an update. We're about 2 weeks in.
Yeah, we're starting our third week.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so today is Sunday. It's technically long run day. Though Katie did her long run yesterday. I'm kind of doing a modified version of the Hal Higdon Advanced Marathon Training 2 plan, kind of crossed with his Dopey plan.
So what I'm doing is just his Dopey plan as it's written. So back during the summer, I started with the Jeff Galloway folks following his plan until Hal Higdon started, and then I switched over to the Hal Higdon plan. I actually already had to modify it and switch 2 weeks because I was experiencing a lot of sensitivity / pain in my hip last week. So I did 13 miles yesterday. The 13 miles was supposed to be last week. We switched it and it was fine. I'm glad that this happened early in the plan and not later on.
Stuff is gonna happen. That is one of the things I like about that Hal Higdon Dopey training plan is it's actually on an every other week schedule for its longer runs.
Yes.
Now the shorter runs on those off weeks are longer to kind of compensate. So you do have some flexibility in that plan if you do need to skip a week, take a week off.
And for the most part, I was noticing too, since he doesn't go all the way up to 26 miles the way Galloway does, every time you increase your long run, you're only increasing by usually a mile. Whereas Jeff Galloway does 2 miles, I think, most of the time.
The plan I'm doing is very similar where it also does not go up to the full 26. My plan, instead of doing every other week, basically has 2 building weeks and then a week where it's a lower long run, but the run before that tends to be a little bit longer than usual, so it's kind of like a back-to-back mid-run week. So last week my long run was 13 miles. This week I did 5 yesterday and 8 this morning, about 13 between the two. I'm doing about 6 days a week right now, though I'm giving myself some leniency if I need to take that extra day off. So last week I only did 5 and I did 27 point something miles. This week I'll finish at about 29 miles. And then I'm doing some speed work in my workouts as well, trying to build my speed back up. Last week I did 1 speed workout, which was 4x400s and then 2x200s. And then this week I did 2 tempo runs. One was supposed to be like a pace run. It just didn't go super well, so I turned it kind of into another tempo run. But there was still, it's good to be getting the speed work in either way, which is nice.
Yeah, and mine right now on weeks where you have a true long run, I believe it's 4 running days, and then on the shorter run weekends it's 5 because you do Saturday and Sunday. I like this is the first time I'm using a basically non-Jeff Galloway plan, and the reason it appealed to me was all of the runs are distance based, whereas Jeff Galloway's during the week are time based. And I think and because I'm slow, his 45 minutes doesn't translate to a lot of miles for me, whereas this is going to be more of a time commitment, but it's going to get more miles on my feet, which I think is going to really benefit me. And I think that's actually going to make a bigger difference than actually training to 26 miles for me. Other people may be different.
But that's what's good about both plans, there's there's something to like about both of them. Certainly both of them can get you there. The Jeff Galloway one is nice because it's a long plan. It is made to build you almost from scratch.
Yeah, well, that's
it kind of includes all the base work.
That's kind of why I started with it, because I wanted to get started, and I like having something to go off of.
Yeah.
So.
Well, the Hal Higdon plan is definitely made for people who have a base already, because the first run starts you off at 11 miles. It's not.
Actually, no, the very first run is the 13
It's 13.
mile.
Sorry,
yes.
My advanced plan started me at 11
yeah,
and
so
went to 13.
So the 13 miles that I missed, that was the very first weekend. So this was supposed to be like a 7 mile maybe, and I did 13 instead. Next week's going to be 14.
Yeah, I believe I'm also on 14 next week as well.
Yeah. And going from the normally I don't think it's good to do 2 long run weekends so close together, but if you're gonna do it, 13 to 14 is probably the least offensive one to do. So.
Found some turkeys as we're doing our walk back up towards the front. Yeah, so that's our first 2 weeks of Dopey training. We'll maybe try to do a video like maybe every other week, kind of catching up on where we're at. And then we did get tagged in the RunDisney tag questions. So we're gonna go ahead and run through those real quick.
Yeah, these my sister has a YouTube channel and she tagged us in it, Wilderness Runner, if you want to check out her. So question 1, how did you hear about RunDisney?
I first heard about RunDisney, I think it was back in high school actually, and my mom had showed it to me. It was back when they did like the Everest Challenge. She was like, oh look, this would be something cool to do, but the dates never really worked out of them. And I didn't really know it was like a whole like multi-weekend thing at the time. My interest was reinvigorated through Katie.
Yes, me, he met me and he saw, whoa, she's cool, she does these things.
Yep, it's true, that did happen.
I first remember, my first memory of RunDisney was coming down. I was probably 8 or 9 years old with my dad, and he came down to run the marathon in January. And this was so long ago that the marathon and the half marathon were on the same day. And while running the marathon, he decided he didn't want to finish the marathon, so instead he ran the half finish. So that's my very first memory. I did not go to the race. I remember him getting up and leaving in the morning and then coming back and telling us about it. But my dad's been a runner, or was a runner, my whole childhood. And then when I was in college, a very non-athletic person, I decided it was something I'd want to attempt. So I did my first Disney half in 2013, in January.
Cool.
So this is going to be my 10-year running anniversary. Question 2, this will be hard. How many RunDisney races have you done?
Ooh,
We will figure it out and pop it in on the screen.
yeah, I could probably figure out weekends, but races would be pretty tough.
We'll have to count the medals. We've done a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
We live here, so it's really easy to get to them.
We'll get back to that one.
Yeah. Number 3, what is your favorite RunDisney race or race weekends?
It has switched a couple times. Marathon is definitely my current favorite right now. I think followed by, at least based on last year's rankings, followed by Springtime.
It does change a lot. It's wine and dine for me. There was a time period where wine and dine was like the worst weekend of the year, like for me work-wise. And I never understood why I signed up for it. But I think wine and dine for me. I like that time of year too at Disney.
Yeah, for me it was wine and dine for a while. Marathon is just like the weekend where there's always just so many like friends there, and there's so many different races going on, so it's been a lot of fun.
Yes, yeah, for sure. Number 4, what is your favorite park to run through?
Ooh, see, I was thinking about this one. Magic is still very iconic. I really like when we run through Animal Kingdom as part of the wine and dine course.
Mm-hmm.
And you go through like Pandora at night, and you get to do like almost all of Animal Kingdom. Like you run through almost the whole park. Yeah. And I think that's really cool.
Mine's probably tied between Animal Kingdom for the exact same reason, and then when we got to run through Hollywood during the 10-miler. A lot of Hollywood time was fun.
Yeah, getting to run through Galaxy's Edge and Toy Story Land was cool, and that was new for RunDisney. So that was definitely cool.
Number 5 is, what's your favorite RunDisney medal? Might have to do a picture, pop it in.
Yeah, I can pop in some pictures.
Do any of them jump with your mind?
I mean, a lot of them do. The wine and dine one with the Mickey and the pie is always a personal favorite for me. My first marathon one, of course, is gonna be kind of iconic, but that's more like personally special than necessarily my favorites. Yeah. Obviously, my first Dopey, that whole set, I think is just like one of the coolest sets they've ever done, because it just all matches really well. So yeah, that's, like 3 different answers for you.
Yeah, I really like my Disneyland one.
That's a good
Diamond
one.
Celebration. I like my marathon one from this year. I don't think it's particularly special, but again, it's first marathon. There's a wine and dine one that I really like, but for whatever reason I can't figure out which one it is. But I know I always like gravitate towards it. But this one will be easy for you, Lake. What 3 songs are on your RunDisney playlist?
I mean, I don't really have a RunDisney playlist. We do have
What
like
about talk about
our morning Get Hyped at 3 a.m. playlist.
Yes, we do. That is the name of the playlist. It's called Get Hype at 3 a.m. We probably need to change it to 2:30.
Yeah, that is true. That time has moved up, but we've had this playlist forever, and it's like kind of evolved and changed.
Yep.
It's got a really weird collection of songs on it, though. Soarin' soundtracks on it. I think Concerning Hobbits is on it.
I think Concerning Hobbits is on it. It has several anime songs on it.
It does, yeah. It's got some.
It has the Halo song
Halo
on it.
theme is on it. Skyrim theme. Game of Thrones theme's on it.
Yep, that's a good one. That's a good one.
It's a bop.
I do run with music a lot, and I had a really good marathon playlist this year, and it had, again, random stuff on it. It had like the Pokemon theme song is fun to run to and Stand Out from a Goofy movie. Those are fun to run to. Oh, and then this year, almost all of the songs from
Encanto. Yep.
Those were big ones for me this year. Number 7, do you go for a PR at a Disney race?
This one varies for me. All of my PRs actually are from Disney races. I haven't gone for PRs like in the last couple years. Last year I didn't do any of the PRs, mostly because a lot of the races I film now. Yes, I would still go for a PR at a Disney race.
He has the benefit of he usually starts really close to the front, so he doesn't have to deal with walkers, runners, people slow kind of in front of him. I've also gotten all my PRs at the Disney race. Actually, I don't know if I've ever beaten my very first race time, but I don't usually run other non-Disney races, so.
We do tend to run mostly Disney races for our longer distance stuff. I'll occasionally do like outside halves. A lot of times though, I'll do like a lot of trail races and stuff locally, and that's not always the best situations for a PR.
Yeah. 8, what characters do you always stop for?
Ooh, yeah, I do sometimes pass them up, but I do tend to stop for most of them. Another advantage for me is I don't tend to have lines for characters, so I can pretty much stop for whoever I like. Ones I get excited for, kind of any of the like odd ones.
Rare.
Yeah, rare characters.
I know we were excited to see Pain and Panic.
That was a cool one, yeah.
Last year's One and Done. I just watched this video, so they're all very fresh. And then you said you would have stopped for Bowler Hat Guy, but he wasn't out when you went by.
I have stopped for him a couple times though. Darkwing Duck, I've stopped for a couple times. That's always been a good one. And sometimes even like classic characters in weird, like different outfits. It's kind of fun too.
Yeah, and they do sometimes, depending on where the character is set up, they'll do like really cool backdrops and stuff. Like that's almost cooler than just the character itself. My answer's easy. I don't stop for characters usually. I'm so slow. Even in the parks, I'm not a big take a picture with a character person, so it's just not important to me. I like seeing them though. What's your favorite pre-race meal and post-race meal?
If we're talking like in the morning, it tends to be a bagel with peanut butter and a banana while we're, still getting up and ready. And then I've been liking like bringing a Pop-Tart with me. And that's kind of like my pre-race, like usually once we get off the bus.
Yeah.
And then coffee and then a bottle of Noon water are typically my go-tos that morning.
In the past, I've done different things for races in the mornings. I've done bagel peanut butter, I've done granola bars, I've done Cliff Bars. Right now, what I've been really liking is actually oatmeal with banana in it, and that, like I did that yesterday, it worked great. So I think I'm gonna stick with that for this kind of running season.
Cool. And
Post-race.
Trails End's always been a favorite for us. Just ate there like 30 minutes ago.
Well, I will say after almost every Disney race we've done, the very first thing we eat meal-wise is some kind of bounty platter.
Bounty, yes. If you've ever ordered quick service at Disney for breakfast, almost every resort has the bounty platter.
It's scrambled eggs, some kind of meat, usually bacon and or sausage, and Mickey waffles, and usually some kind of
like potato, yeah. We've done plenty of bounty platters.
Yep.
And those are always nice if you're staying somewhere with like a quick service that you have to go through. You can order it from the bus.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Pre-order has been a lifesaver.
Yep.
And then I'll say later in the day, I feel like I always want a margarita. Like that type of drink. Probably the salt, but it's good.
Yes, salt is good.
This one's easy for us too. What's your favorite costume that you've run?
I think the next question is also costume related.
Oh yeah, okay. How about we change 10 and 11? Because we're not big costume people, but what about like the coolest costume you can remember seeing?
Oh, I mean,
There have been some really good ones.
yeah, there's always some cool costumes.
Well, we have our friend who did the Spaceballs.
Oh, yeah, Jason did Spaceballs. That was a cool one.
Yeah, we're friends with really cool people. We aren't cool people.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, I can't get behind doing the costumes personally, though I do love to see them during the races.
Here's the thing, I feel like I am so uncomfortable running anyway. Like, to add in a costume that's gonna rub or chafe or anything like that, I'm just not game.
Not worth. But alright, that is all of the Disney tag questions and our Dopey training. Well, that was perfectly timed to get us up to our car, back up to the front of Fort Wilderness. Did a nice little walk from the back of the settlement back up here. So that was our first 2 weeks of Dopey training. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, subscribe, ring the bell, all of that fun YouTubey stuff. If you're training for Dopey or Marathon Weekend, comment, let us know how your training's going. What's been your largest long run? What's been your biggest struggle so far? And we'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.